Hello guys, this is Dr. Yum. This is the second tutorial of the network analysis. So we did like the new service area based on the distance. Then we did not make the service area based on the time travel, right? So time travel was a little bit like weird that I did when I did. So because I'm going to upload later in terms of like by the time for today, this is the different types of the network analysis. So we call it the closest facility. So actually it measures the distance between like the from A point to B points. Like the A point will be the facility, the B point will be the incident. Okay, so you can see here. So the green rectangular dot is like the block group point, the centroid of each block groups in the Cuyahoga County. And then red is like the fire stations, right? So I'm going to measure the distance between the block group centroid and fire stations. Okay, so there are several ways to measure those kind of things. The first of all, I loaded like the loading locations. I select the fire station and click OK. Then it will load it like 92. So the reason that I'm doing this is it takes a long time to load all these the dots. Okay, so I just already loaded to save the time. The second, we are going to load it. It's like the Cuyahoga County block group point, and then you click OK. Then it will load all the points. So it takes like the more than 20 or 30 minutes. So I try to save the time. So I already loaded like both the points. So as you can see here, we have lots of points, right? Just let's say this is a fire station. So from this point, like the block group centroid to here, it will measure the distance. But what if we can measure like the one, like the block group point to like the 3 or 5 closest the fire station. For example, from here to this one, this one, this one, this one, maybe this one, maybe this one. We can measure like the 5 different like the distance from one point, right? Yes, that is possible, right? So once you load everything, so you select closest facility, then it will shows up like this box, right? Then if you click this, you will see here. So as I mentioned, if you want to measure like the closest facility between closest facility from the incident, which is like the block group centroid, so you just say 1. If you want to have like the more than 3 or 4, 5, more than 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, you can change like here like 5. Then you will see like the 5 closest close the distance from each point. So that means your the data size is going to be huge, right? Because like if you do this, it will measure the closest facility, closest the fire station from here to here. So it will create just one data. But if you have like the 5 here, the ACMA will create the 5 different like the distance, right? So each point will get 5 different distance, closest distance from here, right? So at this moment, I'm going to do just 1. Okay, I just click. It's not the minute. We are going to do like the miles. Okay. So see, it automatically select like the miles or the minute. If you have a minute, they do like the have the minute, but we already created miles and minutes, so we are going to select the miles by distance. Okay, so I'm going to click OK. So then now what we need to do, we are going to click the solve. So here 1, 2, 3, like the points cannot get any like the distance. Location 1319 569 1103, because it sometimes happen because like the we I mean like the it does not, the location of the dot is not really appropriate with location. Then the Archimate cannot find like the dot, and it connects to the road network, so sometimes it happen. So here, as you can see, so if I zoom in here, so this is the fire stations, right? So this dot has like it measure distance from here to here by like the real road network, not the Euclidean distance. If you have a Euclidean distance, we make like the just simple buffer. It just makes like this. But this is like the from one facility to one incident, we measure the closest distance. So this one measures like here and here and here. So it will shows us like the distance between from here through this route to here. Okay, this is the how you can do like the closest facility. So how you can use these things, for example, if you have like the line segment, like then you can extract the highway ramp, right? So we got 90, 71, 77, 480, I-80, 271, those kind of stuff. Like then we got the highway ramp. So how we can measure like the distance from the highway to actual home? So we can measure like the distance between highway ramp, the closest highway ramp to the housing locations. Then it will create like the actual like distance by miles, kilometers, feet, whatever you want. Then you can use that actual distance as an indicator when you run some like the regression or head on your price model, those kind of stuff. Okay, so also you can see like the housing team or like the land bank team, you can measure the distance from based on your necessity. Then show them like the closest like the commercial grocery store to like the land bank property or like the new housing project area, those kind of stuff, right? So there are many ways to apply those kind of method. Okay, so the route, if I open the route attribute table, here we go. This is the route that it create total miles from like the location 1. So here, this is like the facility ID 15. This is incident ID 1. The incident ID 1 is the same as, if you open it, so that will be, it is the object ID here. So usually we don't use object ID as a unique identifiers, but in the closest facility is using like the object ID. So if you click the object ID like this, so you can see here 1. So then I'm going to see like the facility ID, which was 15. I saw this one, right? So it is here. So it measures the distance between this property to the closest fire station. So right here, so route, if you open it, the first one, So facility ID 15 that I selected from here, and instant ID 1, this is instant ID 1, right? So then we're gonna check that out whether or not Kayaga BG points here. This is FID, the original FID here. So I'm going to click this. I'm going to remove everything and click this. Here we go. So FID is a unique identifiers in here. It's not the GeoID. So if you want to join this result, like the route, these things, you need to use like the facility ID or original facility ID as a unique identifiers. Do you understand that? So we are not going to use like the GeoID as a unique identifiers when you need to join this result to your Cuyahoga County BG points. Then you can see here the actual distance between like the closest the fire stations and your like the incident, like the block centroid. Okay, so I think this is it. This is like the simple network analysis. So everyone knows how to load, how to create like the network database here, and so I use this one. So I shows you if you have the error signs, and then you can how to solve that error. So you can create the one simple folder and then create the network database there again. So it will be fine. Okay. So this is this is simple, right? So when you do these things and then thinking about how and be careful like the unique identifier if you need to join the route data to your original data file. Okay. So this is it. Thank you.